Welcome to a special edition of Crawford County Outdoors. I'm Dwayne Kohler, and we are coming to you today from the Woodcock Creek Nature Center here just by Stainbrook Park near Woodcock Lake. We are going to go on a snowshoe tromp. The Allegheny Outing Club, Allegheny College Outing Club, puts together programs here with the Nature Center. So we'll get some background on what goes on here at the Nature Center and some other programs that they have that go on. And then we'll learn about snowshoeing today. So I'm looking forward to that. I think we've got Chef Lisa working on something for us too. So we'll be a little bit cold after being out here in the cold. So we'll get working on something with Chef Lisa. So stick with us. I think an interesting show for you today. And joining us now is Kathy Uglow from the Crawford County Conservation District. Welcome to Crawford County Outdoors. So what goes on here?
Well, welcome to the Woodcock Creek Nature Center.
Thank you very much.
This is the Crawford County Conservation District offices, as well as education.
So we're going to learn about snowshoeing today.
We are going to learn about
So I'm kind of excited about that. I like some things to get out and do outside, whether it's winter or summer, but what are some of the other things that are going on?
Well, we do programs once a week, year-round,
Okay.
And when we get the weather, most of them are outside, actually. We prefer that. We do a lot of things with walking involved in hands-on activities, maybe tracking animals, looking at the beavers, where they've built dams, this and that. We have fishing programs. We have all kinds of things. We go on field trips also, like to Allegheny College. We just visited the geology department and worked on an augmented reality sandbox, which is a tremendous thing and an opportunity for the community. So we enjoy all kinds of things.
Now I have my personal biases in a good way about Crawford County. I want to hear what you think about Crawford County. I think this is a four-season area. We got lots of stuff going on, and you need to get outside and experience them. I mean, what do you think?
I agree with you. And it really makes me laugh because you would think most people just want that nice weather. But I've heard more people complaining because they couldn't get out ice fishing, or they're a trapper, or they're, some sort of outdoor sport or outdoor activity that they enjoy in the winter. And so those are the kind of hardy folks that we have in Crawford County that enjoy.
You probably
all
heard me
the
complaining because there was no snow during deer season last year. No, I probably told that story way too many times. But yeah, I know what you mean about that one. So, well, some of the classes do you have kind of like favorites that you repeat each year? Or?
There are a few of them. One of my favorites is flower pounding.
Flower pounding?
Flower pounding. It's taking flowers and you put them on a treated material and you actually pound them with hammers. And there's a technique to this, and you end up with an artwork kind of deal or a bookmark.
Interesting. Okay.
I do soil painting, those kind of things. So a lot of the ones I do are more the creative artisty kind of things that are unusual. But we've had the flint knappers down here just recently.
Like making arrowheads?
Chopping, yep. And it doesn't happen the way you think, where you chip around there. You actually slice off layers of rock, which I thought was fascinating. I had no idea. I'm going to do something Thursday called the Trash to Treasure. And it's basically a big treasure chest that our intern created herself. And it's full of all kinds of items. And after a little presentation, we have teams of people. They try to figure out how many different things they can make from this item they've selected. And then whoever has the most ideas of how to reuse that item or build it into something else, they win, usually candy. But
oh, very good. Well, give us a little background on the snowshoeing program today. How'd that come together? Who puts it on? Who puts it on for you?
The snowshoeing, I'm an Allegheny College grad, and I also work there, so I have a lot of ties with Allegheny. You'll find a lot of our classes are taught by either professors or some of the students in the classes, and we get
Allegheny's an asset to the community on those kind of things you talk about. I Meadville Medical Center, for my regular work, I work with a lot of folks from the college all the time too, and they're a great asset to have in the town.
They're wonderful, and we get to partner a lot, or with other agencies also, like DCNR or any of those. But for the snowshoeing, they have an Allegheny Outing Club, which is really neat if you like to cross-country ski or do any of those things. I believe you can actually rent equipment from them, and they have kayaks and things in the good weather. So they have brought their snowshoe collection up here, and we are going to have some folks join us very shortly and take a quick. This is the little lesson that tells them how to fit them, proper binding use, what to do. And then
so for a first-timer like me, that would be a good thing to know.
Excellent.
To go through all that.
But
Very
I see it doesn't look too hard.
So the day we have today, it snowed like crazy this morning, and now it's actually settled down a little bit. So I think we'll be able to get outside and get some of that outdoor Crawford County experience out there.
Absolutely perfect.
Well, Kathy, thanks.
You're very welcome.
I'm looking forward to the class.
Thank you. Today we want to get outside, and this started out where every year that I book snowshoeing, we can't do it. You know why? Because we don't get any snow. So of course we didn't get any snow, and we call everybody back up, and we just kind of systematically chose today, looking at extended forecasts, trying to judge when we're getting snow, when we're getting cold, when it's going to be warm. We're like, okay, Tuesday, that's when we're doing it. And look at this, it's a beautiful day, so we're going to get you right out there. We have the Allegheny College Outing Club here, and they have brought their snowshoes, and they are such great partners. They come and do this program for us, usually, not quite every year, but pretty much every year. So I have 1, 2, 3 students from Allegheny College, and they're going to introduce themselves. They're going to give you a really quick overview of snowshoeing in general, and then they're going to whisk you out and down the trail. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to kick it off to them, so thank you for coming.
I'm Benjamin. I'm a senior at Allegheny. It's Blake and Chelsea, both also seniors at Allegheny. Basically, we have like a whole bunch of gear, and we lead trips every weekend for the student body, usually for minimal cost. Anywhere from snowshoeing, backpacking, camping, whitewater rafting, pretty much anything outdoors you can think of. So we got a perfect day to kind of go outside and stomp around. The paper in front of you kind of just gives some general information about the snowshoes that we have. We'll kind of talk about them more when we get them on your feet. Anyways, Blake, do you have anything?
No, just a couple of things to keep in mind though is everybody should try to find snowshoes that kind of align with this size chart here. We'll talk about it more when we get out there, but that'll be the most comfortable. You'll feel the most stable and ready to go. So I think we can head outside.
Yeah, the best thing we can do is just get this.
Out
yeah.
there. Are you going to tell them how to go up and down hill and all that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
it's
goodness.
easier when you have them on.
Okay,
It's,
all right.
it's pretty simple, just like walking. Just lift your knees a little higher.
Okay.
All right, so all out here.
Joined now by Blake Johnson from Allegheny College. Blake, you're our snowshoeing expert here. So help me get set up here now. What if I'm going to go buy myself a pair of snowshoes? How do I? Okay, so I'm 6'3" and I weigh 190 pounds. So is there like a certain size and weight and whatever that it helps me pick the right one?
Yeah. So when you're going to purchase your snowshoes, you're going to want to pick the correct size for your height and weight, and that's going to be a longer snowshoe. Say these yellow ones here, these are 36-inch, so they'll hold your weight better and they'll support you better, and they'll be the right length for your stride.
Okay, so if I'm going to, do I need also to pick a kind of snowshoe depending on what kind of activity I'm going to be using it for? So if I'm going hunting, if I'm going bird hunting with my bird dog, if I'm going, to work on an outdoor project that, I just don't want to sink down in the snow, maybe I'm doing a photography thing or whatever. Does it make any difference what kind of activity I'm going to do, what kind of snowshoe I need, or which size I need, or anything like that?
The size really doesn't matter for your activity so much as just your body type and how big you are. These are modern snowshoes. Most of the designs are like this, and they'll work for all the different activities that you want to do, probably. Yeah.
Okay, so it's got like a fabric, almost kind of a thing that's on a frame. We saw the ones inside, but when you were talking inside that were old-fashioned, like I think it was LLB, maybe was a name on there, but it had straps and a wooden frame. Same concept. It's that the snow, it's going to spread out my surface. Let me tell you why I'm asking this. One time I was hunting with my dog. I didn't realize I was on water, and I fell through the ice, and my shotgun caught me, and I'm like, ooh. Yeah. So I was lucky. And my feet did hit the bottom, so it's like and the ice was a fair distance between the ice and the water, you know. So it's I don't know how I'd have gotten out of there had that been deep enough. I'd have gone all the way in. But the whole point of this is it's going to spread my weight out over a much bigger area than just my feet, right? So it's going to keep me from sinking and going to let me move easier or more with less effort, or what's sort of the gist of it?
Well, because it spreads your weight out, your feet aren't going to sink as deep into the snow, and it's not going to be as heavy. You're not going to be trudging through snow. You're going to be walking, for the most part, on top of everything. You still sink a little bit. There's no stopping that, but you're going to be elevated a little bit higher. It's going to move more freely.
So the not sinking in part is a good thing. You still need to know the area where you are, like in my case, not walking over water that may not have a good solid base of ice on if you don't realize that, I guess. I didn't realize I was at the Geneva Swamp, and the birds, you know, they were like right at the edge of the water, you know, which I didn't. I thought I was still on the land, and all of a sudden I'm up to my hips, you know, in water, and that was quite a shock. The dog's looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I cracked the stock of my shotgun and everything else. So that's like an interesting topic. Maybe I should have snowshoes to go along, which may have prevented that from happening that time. Well, so what other things I need to, well, help me get them hooked up here, but other things I need to know when I'm going to look at them? Do I need to have those poles that look like ski poles, or?
Not necessarily. You don't need them, but they will help you balance. If you're worried about, if you don't have anything else to hold on to, if you're not carrying a shotgun, you might want them just to help you balance and maneuver around when you're wearing these things, especially when you're starting out. You should be okay with or without them, but it's up to your preference, really.
Well, so let me ask you a question about when we're moving around. If I'm going up and over something, or if I'm going, you know, maybe down an incline or whatever, do I need to do anything differently, and depending on something like that?
You really won't have to think about it too much. It's going to be a lot like walking, so I wouldn't say you have to do anything differently, just because you won't really notice what you're doing differently. But these things have crampons on the bottom, these spikes, so they really lock into the snow and keep you from slipping, so you don't have to worry too much about actually slipping when you're going up and down things. But you won't really have to think about the terrain as much as you would say if you're on skis or something.
Now, also I noticed that the tip of this takes an up bend here. Is that to keep me from burying the tip and falling on my face? Yeah. Is that what that's about? Okay. All right. So give me the lecture here on how to get them on.
Okay. So right now these straps are pretty well extended.
And that thing hinges, so my foot's going to go in there. Yeah. And we're going to front to back. We're going to put my foot in front ways first, right? Is there a left foot and a right foot on these, by the way? It doesn't make any difference.
I don't think it makes any difference. That should be left would probably be better, just so
with the outside. The locks are on the outside. Yeah. Okay. So there's a little like a little zip thing here. So I'd
start with the toe. Make sure your boot's all the way up to the front.
Up to this. My toe goes up to that. Okay. And I'm going to pull that. Is that tight enough, or do I need to?
And then you can ratchet it a little tighter by pulling that.
If I pull up on that, that's going to click it a little bit more.
If it's not going, it's probably
I must be tight enough. Okay. Then the middle one. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the one, does it come up over my heel or just around the back of my heel?
Just around the back.
Just around the back. Okay.
Pull that.
Pull the strap part. Okay. Yep. So this doesn't have to be super, super tight. Just tight enough that it's going to not come off. Does that look right?
Wiggling around. That looks good.
Okay. Hold your balance now. Okay. Doesn't want to zip any further. That must mean we're tight enough.
Okay, and then just get the heel strap, and it should be solid.
All right. Feels a little funny feels like having
it's a little different, yeah.
Like big clown shoes on or something. Okay. So you want to make sure not to step on the other foot when you're going along, right? So you kind of walk with your feet further apart than you would normally. Do you walk with your toes like sort of directly parallel, or does it make any difference? Or?
You're going to want to keep them parallel. I mean, it's really just how you walk normally.
I remember
be a problem.
I remember getting an email from somebody at work one time that said, "Don't fall in the parking lot. Walk with your feet turned out to the side so you don't slip." So that's not an issue. That's not an issue for this, I guess, because you got those little grabbers.
You got all the spikes on the bottom. Yep.
I know when the guys are going ice fishing, they have those little grabbers on the bottom of their feet just so they don't slip on the ice. So, do people wear these for ice fishing too?
I don't know if you'd wear them for ice fishing, actually. It really just depends on how much snow there is out.
Okay. So the main point is just to keep me on top of the snow. So I'm not sinking. So I'm not going to get as worn out by having to really trudge
Through
and
the snow, yeah.
All right. Can we walk over that hump right there?
Sure.
You want me to go first?
Go right ahead.
Okay. What's any special advice?
Don't fall.
Don't fall down. Okay. So if the snowplow made a hump, we must have to climb on it.
Looks good.
I'm not slipping.
Now, as you walk, you notice that the back end is going to fall down because of that hinge.
And we want
so
that, right?
Flip up. So you're kind of going to be skidding that back end of the snowshoe as you walk, but that's fine.
So my tracks are going to look weird because it's like I'm dragging my feet.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
That just helps to make sure you don't get the toe underneath.
Well, I did slide a little bit.
Yeah,
not
you
bad,
slide
though.
a little bit, but
What happens when I get snow on top? Do I kick it off there or keep
you
going?
can kick it off or you can keep going. Either way, should be fine.
Looks like Bigfoot's been here.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Didn't know we had Bigfoot in Crawford County. Is there any snow or ice or whatever kind of situation where you don't want to use snowshoes?
If it's already hard packed and and you can walk on it freely with just shoes and not sink, then there's really no point to snowshoes.
Now, I mean, I can feel us sinking down here several inches, so this is definitely a good time to have them on, right? Look, there's Bigfoot. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
It's just like walk.
Exactly.
So which smells better, like packed snow like this, wet snow, or powder snow?
Either one. Powdered snow is going to be easier to, or not powdered snow, packed snow is going to be easier to walk on, but wet snow. But it's also going to stick to your crampons on the bottom, so those are going to get all gunked up faster.
We just blazed our own trail here.
Yep.
How about that? So this isn't one of those deals where you got to put one foot in front of the other, so to speak. You got to put one foot beside the other foot.
Exactly.
So the old style ones we saw inside there were from LL Beam. Where might you find some snowshoes to get?
Like that?
Well, like any, yeah, even like these more modern ones.
Most outdoor stores would probably have them. Like
Okay.
REI, you can find them on the internet, I'm sure.
What would a pair of snowshoes, just in round numbers, what would it cost to get set up?
I really don't know. Honestly. I got a pair for Christmas new, but I have no idea.
So ask Santa for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Good plan. Okay, here we go. Try not to fall on my head.
Yeah, this way might be a little harder.
Snowplow mountain climbing. Piece of cake.
Speak for yourself.
All right. So we didn't ski down. All right, now taking them off.
Taking them off.
What's the secret?
All right, so there are these little red tabs here, and you just push that like a button, and this is gonna slide right through.
Okay.
Theoretically.
Theoretically. It works. Okay.
And the less you pull up on that black thing, the better. The black thing is gonna just hold it tight.
There we go. Do you find when you're out stomping around, you don't get too cold because you're out being active? I personally find that.
I do find that, yes.
I also find it's harder to get some good exercise, when it gets to be your normal. If you do a lot of outside stuff and it gets cold, you do less of that. And so there you go, one more way to keep yourself in good shape. All right, that one's loose. Oh, not quite.
Strap on the back maybe too.
It's pushing on the wrong end of the button. There we go. All right. Well, thanks for the lesson.
Yep, you're welcome.
I didn't break anything. That's good.
Success.
Chef Lisa Beck.
Hello.
So let's make a hypothetical. Let's say I was out snowshoeing today and I got a
Right.
little cold and I wanted to warm up with something. What do you think? What could we do to have some little snack, that could warm me up a little bit?
Well, I'm thinking, seeing that we made bear sausage not too long ago.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of comments about that, by the way. A lot of people saw that.
And
You too?
I have as well, and we've had some great recipes at home. We made meatloaf, I threw some in there, and got a little more to throw into something else. But I'm thinking we could make a dip, a warm dip in a crock pot, some multi-grain chips,
Okay. So-
with the bear sausage.
Through the magic of television, we brought some bear sausage.
Oh, how great. That's
it was
awesome.
it was in the freezer from when we
Okay.
worked on it before, so how about if I throw it in the fry pan?
Let's get it going.
And now, we'll put some onion with it too. So
Okay.
you want to start frying and
I will do
I'll get
that.
the onion working. Got to give a shout out to Andy Alm, hand making knives.
Love
so
that knife.
Stay
Beautiful.
tuned for Crawford County Outdoors future episode where we see how these knives get made, by the way. So
Yes.
we'll try it out now to see how it works on an onion.
That knife is spectacular. Look at that.
Wow. First time, every time. Let me get the skin off there, huh? Any magic to getting the skin off the onion, Lisa?
I usually just slit it a little bit and then peel it away.
Let me cut the ends off.
That helps.
Get rid of that part. Okay. Hey, that knife's pretty slick. And I know how it was made.
No crying.
No crying?
No crying.
There's no crying in bear.
There's no crying in
bear dip.
Bear dip.
Bear chili dip making. Okay.
Nope.
Like baseball. No crying in
No
baseball.
crying in
yeah.
baseball.
Okay. Now I always just cut my onion like a couple times that way,
Ooh, fancy.
and then a couple times that way. Is that all right?
That's great.
I'm not breaking any rules of
No.
physics or anything by doing that?
No.
Okay.
However it works.
Whatever works, okay.
That's what we do. Let's cook it up.
So I guess all of our regular viewers will remember making this sausage, and we kind of went back and forth and came up with just the right blend of the spices that we liked. And
Delicious.
So now when you use it in a recipe like this, it's going to blend with some more things. So
Right.
now we have, what do we have? We have black beans,
Yes.
we have green chilies, and then we have salsa from the store.
Okay.
And all those together
With
going to make some pretty cool dip
With the bear sausage, of course.
with that bear sausage.
Yes. Okay, you want to get that?
Can I throw that in?
Sure. We'll get her going. There you go.
Very good. Let me get rid of
Whoops.
that onion skin. Not on the floor,
No.
right in the trash.
There you go.
Okay.
Alrighty. Oh, you can hear that sizzle. We like that sound, don't we, Dwayne?
You know, that's got to be one of my favorite sounds.
The sizzle and the smell.
Yes.
That goes along
Yeah.
with it. We like that here too. We're all the way up. Shouldn't take long.
So this would be a nice thing, not only just for coming back in from snowshoeing, but also could be, you know, during a ball game or...
I was thinking the same thing during a football game or, you know, playoffs, which, you know, we're past that,
yeah.
but, you know, always a good thing.
Isn't it interesting, Lisa? I don't know, whenever you made your meatloaf, did you notice there really wasn't a lot of fat that sort of collected in the pan after browning that bear sausage?
I did. And, you know, I know we talked about it when we made it. I didn't expect just to see the bear itself with such a little amount of fat on it. You expect the bear meat to have a lot of fat. It didn't. And you said it was layered. The fat is on the outside.
The fat sort of comes off when you take the skin off, and this was from a spring bear hunt, so it didn't have a lot of fat.
Right.
So I suppose in Pennsylvania for the fall hunters here, the bear's going to be fattened up pretty good.
Right.
But I still think that fat's going to come off with the skin.
Yeah. Right. And like I said, I threw a little bit in a meatloaf. I like to throw some sausage in a meatloaf, and it was great. I mean, of course, I tell everybody what's in it, and no one complained, and everyone ate it, and they said it was delicious. So.
Now, while you're doing that, can I use the left-handed can opener on the green chilies and the black beans?
You sure can. I'm so glad I brought that down for you.
Okay, let's see.
I know how much you like that left-handed can opener.
We've been talking about this now when the Wild Games comes up. I have some ideas for a left-handed can opener event for the Wild Games.
I know, you've been talking about
Stay
that.
tuned for that, too.
Looking forward to it.
Did I mention Wild Games champ Lisa Beck? Did I mention that?
You usually do.
Okay.
You're such a nice guy, Dwayne. Thank you.
Do you think we should pour off the liquid that came with the beans?
I would.
Okay.
I would. I usually leave the lip and just kind of
Okay, we'll leave that partially on there. Drain off the liquid.
This is cooking up nice.
This is probably one of those things, I don't know, Lisa, what you think, but if you have a different favorite kind of beans or you have a different, you know...
Use whatever, yeah. You don't have to use one particular kind. Right.
The first time we tried a recipe like this at my house, we used mild salsa, and the consensus was I could use a little more zip. So,
well, in my house, that would be well.
So we went to the medium, and you could go to the hot, and you could.
Sure. Or you could add hot sauce.
You could maybe even have jalapenos, or you know, whatever. So,
you have the green chilies.
Kind of a favorite, and this is green, just a
Those
small
are
can of
typically
green
somewhat
chilies.
mild. I know you can get the hot ones, but.
Now, when you're browning your bear,
yes,
you want to get all that pink out of there.
Yes,
right?
Definitely.
And you want the onions to be sort of like almost like
translucent
a little bit. Mm-hmm. Looks like we're getting real close to that.
We are. Right, you want to be able to bite into them and them to be soft, and no pink. No pink in burger or sausage. You want that out. We're getting there.
My favorite's coming back. I'm getting that good smell, Lisa.
I know. And anyone who comes in as we start, that's...
Oh, what's going on?
They make their way to this area, because it does smell so good. Almost there. And we do have our crock pot going. We've got it on.
It's got a little bit warmer going on in the crock pot there.
Yep, I'm actually going to turn it up a little bit.
And so that's one thing that it could be, if the game lasts for, 3 hours, it can be in the crock pot just on a low setting for pretty much however long.
Right, halftime, however you do it, Those onions are softening up. We're almost there.
I did notice with my beginning snowshoeing skills, I spent a lot of time on the ground. So my hand, and I forgot to bring gloves along, so as I was trying to get the snowshoes hooked up, I didn't have gloves. So my hands did get a little cold with that. So.
Right. Good leg workout.
Yes, it was.
Really good leg workout.
Thanks to the Allegheny Outing Club, who puts that all together.
That's nice.
Along with the Woodcock Creek Nature Center. They do a nice job up there.
If you're going to live in this area, take advantage of those opportunities. Skiing, snowshoeing. Enjoy it, because we're going to have snow this time of year, and we might as well take advantage of it and get outdoors when we can. Try to encourage my kids to do that as much as possible.
Crawford County is a definite four-season area, so if you have 1 or 2 of the seasons you don't like, you're going to get pretty bored during them. So I like them all.
Yep, me too. Me too. Have to say I'm partial to fall, but
it is kind of fun to catch the animals that we're going to have
That time of year.
Chef Lisa cook up.
That's right.
But it wouldn't be any fun if we couldn't cook them up after that.
That is true.
So we need both winter and fall.
Yep, we do. We're almost there, Dwayne.
Okay.
A little bit of pink left, and then I think we're good to add this to our crock pot.
Do you suppose there's a special sequence of the way it's going to be best to put things in?
I suppose you could do it however you want.
It's funny, at least I see a little piece of fennel running around there.
I know.
We added some extra fennel in the
You can smell
in
it.
the bear sausage, and
You can definitely
it's funny you
smell
see
it.
one little piece there.
I know.
I can smell it now. It smells great.
It does. It's funny how a little onion and fennel go together well.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're about ready to add this to the crock pot, and then we'll put our other ingredients in there.
Very good.
And I believe we'll let it sit there for a little bit. We're
little while
going
to
to heat it
blend.
through, and then I think we'll be ready to get our chips out and taste it.
Nice. Uh-oh.
There you go.
Didn't need a left-handed can opener for that.
That's
Just needed
good.
a left hand, was all.
That's right. Okay, 1 more minute, and then we're bringing it in.
Okay.
Warm.
That little mini crock pot, by the way, I actually think that was like $10 maybe. And it comes in handy for something like this. It comes in handy. We've used it a million times at my house.
Absolutely. I have a lot of different crock pots, and I use my small crock pot for a lot. And typically for this type of, for a dip, and easy to take with you if you're going to someone's house for a party. Okay, I think we're ready to put this in.
Super. What kind of tool do we need for that? One like that? How about if I hold it and you scrape it in? Would that be
You know
all
what?
right?
I think this is probably going to be okay.
Or you do it then,
Yeah,
okay.
that one might be good for you there.
Cleaning out the small cans
Yes, 'cause
into
this is
the bear?
This is going to slide right out nicely. Got some juice from the onions, which is good because it's pretty lean meat. I know we had some pork in our bear, but it's still pretty lean. So we'll get that.
You got to show that pan. Look at that. There's no.
No, there's just a little bit of liquid.
There's almost no oil at all
nothing
around the bottom of the pan.
Nothing we really had to drain.
Okay, in go the chilies.
That little spatula is pretty handy.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Great.
Black beans.
That looks great. There's a different.
And now the last part, the salsa can be sort of whatever seems right to you.
Right.
So, in round numbers, maybe half of it, maybe, for starters.
We'll
and then we
mix it up and we'll see
can
how that
see
looks.
how it goes. Okay.
That looks great. Oh, smells wonderful. I would say a little more, Dwayne.
Okay. How's that?
I think that's
Good?
good. And we'll let that sit for a little bit.
Get all those things to blend.
And warm up, blend, and then we'll have the true taste test. There we go.
So, Lisa, doesn't it seem like we draw a crowd when it comes time for sampling?
We do draw a
Andy
crowd.
Alm, thank you for the use of the cool knife here. So again, future episode coming, and stay tuned here to Crawford County Outdoors, and we'll see how these things get made. So well, I'm glad you could be here and try some sampling here, or some
I'm glad
bear
to be here to
sausage.
try the sampling.
Good, we're glad to have you.
Gavin Beck. Okay, Lisa, let's fire it up here.
All right, everybody.
Gavin seems to always come around when it's time to sample, doesn't he?
He always does.
He's a smart guy.
Yep, that's right. You come around when the food's ready. We're just going to spoon a little bit on here, and everybody can have a little taste. Andy. There you go. And Dwayne. All right, everybody.
I can't
Now's our
wait.
favorite time.
Favorite part of the show.
Yep.
That's phenomenal.
That's
Phenomenally good.
That's really good.
Oh my God,
Wow.
it's amazing.
So there you go. You come in from snowshoeing, you're a little cold, can warm you up outside, inside, the whole bit.
Just the right amount of heat. I like the medium salsa.
I think that too. I like that too.
The sausage is perfect.
Need some hot sauce.
You need more hot sauce, Gavin?
More hot sauce, but that's typical in this house.
So one more time, thanks to the Woodcock Creek Nature Center. We appreciate them being the host for our snowshoe event, the Allegheny College Outing Club, for teaching me a little bit about snowshoeing.
Yeah.
Lisa, thanks for the recipe. Andy, thanks for the use of the knife. Especially thanks to the folks at home for joining us on Crawford County Outdoors, and we'll talk to you next time.